Hey everybody, what's up? This is Genesis, the original support. Today I've got a video about Vi. Vi's actually been one of my favorite junglers for the longest time. It's not that I'm incredibly skilled with her, it's that she can be very, very effective with Vi, and you can be effective in a lot of different metas. And she's got a very wonderful skill kit.
Who needs a beat?
There's one that's designed to succeed. A number of metas, also a number of team compositions. One of the things that a lot of people need to understand about Vi is that she does very, very well with armor shred. So these days, particularly since they gave it a rework, taking a black cleaver on Vi instead of a Triforce for her damage item is probably going to be a very, very good choice. So one thing that a lot of people have noticed so far in this video is I've put a point into W and one into E, and to allow myself time to regen. After taking red, I went and I took the Scuttle Crab. Honestly, I think it doesn't really matter. Okay. I don't think it really matters that junglers can start Grump or Krugs. What they should do is, after they take the first major buff, head to the river, pick up a Scuttle Crab. It's extra cash in your pocket, and gives you, more importantly than just the vision and the extra gold, it also gives you time to read. And if the enemy jungler has the same idea, it allows you to kind of see where they are. You know, maybe they come to the river. You know, oh, you're here to contest as well. Then you can either retreat appropriately, which kind of sucks, but better safe than sorry. That sort of thing. Now, one thing that I do with Vi is that I tend.
Sometimes you gotta make a door.
Sorry about the loud volume, but when I play as Vi, I tend to max my W first, because it gives me a lot of damage output early on. The other thing that I'd put a point into would be my E early on. Just max the damage output from that skill, because you only really need to land your Q once, and that's to get into the fight. I mean, you're a hard engaged champion. I'm pretty sure most of the time that you're not aiming to get out of it alive if you can't pick up the kill. That's the thing about Vi. You're very much an all-in engage. You're not going to, you know, pounce in and then pounce out like, say, a jungle Nidalee would. You're there to get a kill, cause disruption, scatter the enemy team, cause all kinds of havoc. And if things go badly, well, then you're dead But maybe at least you've caused enough of distraction that everybody else can get out of the engage safe.
They'll never know what hit
into
'em.
my W. At this point, I could maybe check the dragon to see if I can get it. So I picked up the scuttle crab. I should mention right now
Let's get cracking.
that in the early levels especially, having control over your raptor camp and smiting that every chance that you get if you're making a visit mid, or if you're heading bot, or even top lane, see if you can get a gank off down there. Getting the raptor buff, it does one thing very, very well.
Sometimes
it gives you
gotta
basically a sweeping limit at the cost of ability cooldown. I'd say that's pretty worth
a little smash and grab.
One thing that I have noticed about Vi is that she is one of the very few champions that can solo the dragon after level 4 with relatively little help. Gotta be careful.
If you hit a wall, hit it hard.
I probably should have just turned on the one that was but that's okay. Now there's a number of different build paths that you can go with Vi. For my purposes, I'm pretty certain that I want to try going Black Cleaver, so I'm going to get a long sword. But then for my jungle item, I'm probably gonna go with the Cinder Hulk. Okay, switch this out.
Piltover's finest.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Alright. At this point in the match, if you haven't done so already, you should be looking to make a gank. I took some time off to take the dragon, but you should be looking to make a gank right about now. And if you've got a mage, mid laner, or a mid laner that really benefits from having cooldowns, which is then you should be passing your buff over at this point, which is fairly easy to do.
Stands for fire.
One thing about Vi is that her passive gives her a bit of a shield.
Let's get to the fun part.
So it's worth noting that if you take, say, a camp right before a gank, you should probably wait until her passive comes off of cooldown, because it's a fairly low cooldown. So it's worth waiting a little bit. Okay.
Who needs a beat down?
The other thing too about Vi that's pretty nice is she's a very effective counter.
I love my own backup.
Probably a better route that I could have taken would have been to walk into the barrier pit. Channeled my Q and then walked around through this way. But I didn't do that. At least not this time.
Here I come to save the day. Or... They'll never know what hit them.
Alright. So, one thing that I should say about jungling. You need to identify, as Vi, which of your laners is the carry. And then you need to identify the most dangerous threat on the enemy team. You have to keep your mind on those two things, so that when you gank, you're ganking effectively and you're not just wasting time.
If you hit a wall,
you know,
hit it hard.
let's say you got a top lane Scion, alright, and you say, well, alright, he died once. Okay. You know, and maybe you're thinking, oh man, he's up against a Riven, and if I don't help him out, things are going to go really, really badly in that top lane. Riven's going to get fed.
I let my hands do the
and we're just going to lose because Riven's just going to roam everywhere. And yeah, we're going to be in that bad spot. I would say hold on.
My way.
Okay. Look at Scion CS. And then ask him if he needs help. If he says no, I'm just going to play further back, closer to the turret, make sure that she doesn't dive, then I would say, you know, leave him to his devices and gank your mid lane or your bot lane. Especially early in the game. Control of the southern half of the map for dragon, that sort of thing. The other thing is, if you've got Scion on your team and he's building full tank, your damage threats are going to be in the mid lane and the bot lane. And if they fall behind, you're in a really bad spot, because Scion is going to... He's going to scale up pretty nicely. And he's not really going to require a lot of... Okay, I mean, yeah, he's going to die a few times. Granted. But he's a tank. He's going to die. He's going to soak up a lot of damage for your team as well.
Let's get to the fun part.
As Vi, one of your jobs, since Scion is going full tank, is probably going to be to become that third damage threat. If you can't, your team is going to become very two-dimensional, and that's always a bad thing. Always a bad thing. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so I'm going to get a phage here. Or wait. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. And get items for a phage.
Plan? I don't need a plan.
So you notice that I've picked up a phage. Vi can go one of two ways with this. So she can either build a Black Cleaver, or she can build a Trinity Force. I'm starting to trend more towards a Black Cleaver. If Vi is up against a really heavy AP team, then my suggestion would be forget the cleaver and just build Hex for that damage, and then later upgrade it into Mob, which you'll still have plenty of damage. You'll be plenty still be that third damage for your team, which is, I mean, that's really what you want to do.
Your team has destroyed.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead
Who needs a
and call
beat
here.
down?
Alright, now I've got enough for a phage and another ruby crystal. At this point I've got almost 2,000 health, which that's not a bad stat at all. I've got the makings of Black Cleaver, I've got Cinderhulk, and depending on the damage sources from the enemy team, I'd build either Merc Treads or Ninja Tabi. To summarize, Vi is a very high damage output jungler, even if she builds full tank. She causes a lot of disruption in team fights. She's got a point-and-click CC ult, which is tremendous. Her Q and her E pump out a lot of damage. Her W gives her innate armor shred. She's a very, very effective counter jungler. She's great at ganking. Although you do have to be very, very careful about when you gank and where. Early and mid game, she's not as item dependent as some other junglers are. And in the late game, depending on how you build her, she doesn't fall off too hard, but you still want to win before 40 minutes. So that's pretty much it. This is Genesis, the original support. Like and subscribe. Leave your comments and suggestions in the comments section below. Thank you very much and have a great day.